It's my first project. It's called Cilvia. Yeah.
What can you bring to TDE that you probably think wasn't there before you got there?
I'm a little less serious than they are.
Okay.
So I think it's like lightheartedness on the other side of it. I'm the younger dude. I'm trying to bring that, you know what I'm saying? Bring the younger vibe back to them. They seasoned, you know what I'm saying? Gotta mix it up some more. That's what I think I bring to the table.
Absolutely. Now TDE.
10 years ago, one of my favorite projects of all time was released. On January 28th, 2014, we were brought into Isaiah Rashad's world with Cilvia Demo.
Modest eye, being interview, some niggas hating cause I play it like I know I had no clue.
Hailing from Chattanooga, Tennessee, Isaiah Rashad had only spent a few years rapping prior to the release of this project. And with a few mixtapes under his belt, he performed on the Smokers Club tour in the summer of 2012, where he really just began to catch everyone's attention. And was eventually even listed as one of Complex's rappers to watch this year for 2014. After a short while of press runs, releases, just getting attention in general, on September 20th, 2013, TDE officially announced that they had signed Isaiah Rashad with the release of a single, I Shot You Down,
I feel anxious, bit dangerous is the verbal appearance. It's reflecting my perspective, big goggle and fear. Role model so hollow.
which would eventually get the remix that we all know and love on the project itself. Now, although he was officially announced to be signed in September, he was actually signed back in March of that year. It was just a little bit quiet for that. And while we were waiting for an official announcement from TDE, Zay had been on a press run for Cilvia Demo, giving outlets tidbits of what the project would be like.
Imagine like getting off work at like 6 p.m. and like you don't go home, you be with your homies, and you get home at 6 a.m. That's what my project is.
Starting from its original idea of an album that you could listen to from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and just kind of throw on. Basically something that you throw on after work and just vibe out to eventually what we got with the project as it is, where it's more of him addressing everything that had happened in his early adult life, basically 18 to 21, 22.
Now you with TDE.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure being with those spitters, man. They got a lot of spitters over there.
That's why it's no pressure.
That's why it's it's pressure on you. You the unproven one.
Yeah, but all I gotta do is rap good.
And then you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Being the youngest and technically newest member of TDE up till that point, he had a lot to prove to both the hip-hop community at large, but also fans of the label. Because, at this point we had Kendrick, Schoolboy Q, Ab-Soul, J-Rock, and they were all beginning to be more properly established artists. They all had albums out at this point, and, were just generally received as some dope rappers. So someone brand new, a little bit younger, being brought onto a label with that sort of credibility, you got all eyes on you, right? It was also an interesting time for him to be signed and for this project to be released, because we were nearing the end of what I would consider the blog era and started to enter the SoundCloud era. So it's like this weird couple of years in between. And with that in mind, this album does kind of do a good job of bridging the gap between those two by having a more airy and atmospheric sound while also including lyrics and a couple of bangers. The subject matter as well for this project really allowed fans and listeners to properly connect with Isaiah Rashad on a deeper level than most artists at that time, I feel. Like, most people aren't so open about all the things going on in their lives. Like, Isaiah Rashad was pretty unique in that sense, especially, like I said, at that time.
Addicted to dry plump. These bitches ain't shit, and pussy is my greatest vice. I love smoking.
Now it's super popular to talk about everything going on with you and just be as open as possible. But, back then everyone was like, oh no, I'm going to keep everything closed off and then just kind of throw little tidbits here and there. But this whole project almost was like a therapy session of sorts for him. And with all that, as a debut project, it really gives new listeners a reason to care about this person. Like, even if you don't necessarily like the other music that they put out, you're probably going to connect with them as a person more so than anything else. As it stands today, this project for me is heavily in rotation, and I really don't see that changing anytime soon. Although it is unlikely that we'll get another album that feels as short and sweet with lots of depth from him anytime soon, and that's mostly because of his release cycles and how TDE tends to just let them work on their projects for a while. Like, you give them a couple years, it'll be fine. Like, you just put out what you want to put out, essentially. But I'm still looking forward to whatever he's got cooking up, and I'm sure it's gonna be great. His last 2 albums have been really good, and yeah, he's just been on a roll since the beginning. With all that said, though, let me know in the comments below what you think of this project and how it holds up today. Did you listen to it when it came out? How did you connect with it? And also, while you're down there, like and subscribe to see more content like this. I'm planning on doing a few more of these recaps for albums this year because there are a bunch of albums that have turned 10. So stay tuned for that. And with all that said, thank you for watching, and please stay safe out there.
Music, it was really to make me feel good. And I'm glad it makes other people feel good, though.